anticipation.
It's gotta be good.
If I get thrown out, I'll go live with my mom.
Mama, get up the mother.
Welcome to the Real Estate and Chill podcast, the newest and coolest podcast. So tune in. Two experts discussing the real estate market. Loan officer James Chudley and associate real estate broker Kevin Iglesias. Beware, this is not another boring podcast. This right here is the shit you need to hear. Respectfully.
Welcome back to the Real Estate and Chill podcast. I'm Kevin Iglesias, associate broker, here with
James Chowdhury from Cliffco Mortgage. Today, we have a long overdue episode. The man, the myth, the legend, the man who's been in the business for 4 years and is already part owner of a bank, my team leader and my boss. Introducing Ryan Riddle.
Dude, that's a good one right there.
yeah.
Yo, nobody's got me?
No, I'll clap for myself. That was a good one. Dude,
Thanks.
I'm honored to be here, guys. I really am.
We appreciate you being here.
You guys, hands down, I think you've probably been told this a couple of times, but hands down have the best, the best podcast out in the industry right now. So
I appreciate you saying that.
I like what episode number it is today.
69.
Oh, yeah.
Good one to be on.
That's perfect. So, introduce yourself, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name's Ryan. For everybody who doesn't know, I'm the partner at Cliffco Mortgage Bankers. Been in the business, just like you said, November's actually going to be 5 years for me. And that's it, man. Just doing my thing.
It's funny because I've been in the business longer than you.
And
And then
what are you
he's
up to
part
now?
owner.
But you're 5 years too, right?
I'm just a little bit over 5 years because I started when I was 18. But tell us a little bit about how you got started in it. What were you doing before?
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody wants to know.
Yeah, so I actually came from the restaurant business. I went to culinary school. I lasted in college,
Really?
I think, a day. Yeah, culinary school, bro.
I couldn't
can
picture
see
that.
that.
Yeah.
Yo, I love it. Yo, it's the energy in the kitchen. Like, you go on a Friday, Saturday night, it's chaos, and the mortgage business is a little bit like that when it comes time, when you have tight deadlines, end of the month, right? So you get the same feel, right? Same energy. But I went to culinary school, and I actually had my daughter, so when I was going through that whole transition with my wife, obviously we were just dating back then. I actually had my first daughter when I was 21 years old. So I was kind of in the boat, I love the restaurant business and I loved it, but I didn't want to put all my eggs in one basket, right? So yeah, I was tired of corporate world, tired of working for people. I wanted to do something on my own. I was already flipping some houses. I met some people in the restaurant business that kind of guided me in the right direction. So I said, I kind of just jumped on it. I said, you know what? One day I told everybody, I put my 30 days in at the restaurant, and then I actually was just flipping houses. I was just, driving neighborhoods and prospecting and everything like that. And a couple of months into it, I just previously closed on a house for myself. My partner now was like, yo, you're really good at mortgages. I'm like, dude, I'm not a salesman. I'm not going through that. I'm good where I'm at. He calls me, he was laying on me. He was kind of leaning on me, trying to get me going. And he called me up and he's like, yo, I got a house for us. Why don't you come swing down? I come down. He's like, yo, you're going to start mortgages. I'm like, maybe it was a blessing in disguise. So I started it. And that's kind of how I got into it. One thing rolled into another. I mean, my first year, I hated the business. You started a little different position, but yeah, it was tough. It was probably just like real estate. Like the first year, like you're thinking, like, did I make the right move? Like, am I right with the right people?
Let's go back to cooking food.
Literally.
Wait, what were you making though? What kind of you were chefing
all
it,
of it. Yeah, all of it. Nah, I really took, and it kind of goes like we'll talk about it later on in the mortgage business. Also, I went to culinary school because I was tired of not having the leverage in the restaurant. Right, because when you're front of the house, like, and you get into an argument with your chef got you by the balls. I mean, what he says goes.
You're an idiot sandwich.
So I don't want anybody to have that leverage over me, and it kind of rolled into the same thing into the mortgage business, and how I became a partner is because I just created so much value and had leverage in the company where it kind of felt, I earned it, but they kind of had to give it to me at a certain point,
So the first year was terrible, but how'd you become part owner of the bank? That's crazy. In less than what, 5 years?
Yeah, less than 5 years. So it was just, it's volume and delivering value. So, I mean, when you think of, and you have the team also, right? So when you think of what the beginning was like, what you do for your people, all the work that you did that was unpaid for and everything like that, it's the same story, right? So there was years that I worked, putting the money back into the team, back into the company, doing stuff for the company, not for myself, right? Unpaid, unrealized, right? Numerous conversations from everybody, like, why are you doing it? Like, you should be getting paid. Like, nah, I put the value in, and with the value, came volume for me, right? And with the volume came leverage in the company, and then it was making differences, you know. Probably since I started, I mean, it's got to be about 200-300% that the company's grew since I've been there.
Wow, that's
and
amazing.
now, you know, just the team itself at Cliffco, I mean, we're 55% of the company's volume, just the team, you know. So,
And now
it's,
I'm part of it.
and now you're part of it, yeah, man. I've been chasing you.
I know, it was funny. You know how long this was in the works?
Yeah.
It was in the works for a long time before we even said anything. It was
Yeah.
like, what, like 6 months?
Yeah,
We were
at
talking about it
least.
for 6 months. I was like, nah, I'm good. And then Ryan was like, well, let me tell you what I'm doing. And I was just like, all right, I'm always open ears, right?
Yeah.
I hear it, and I'm just like, this is going to change the industry. Like,
Yeah.
and I want to be part of that. You know what I mean? So tell us a little about, like, what your vision was. Like, with all the different things you're doing right now, tell us what your vision behind it was.
Yeah, so, and it kind of leans off of what we were just talking about. So everything that I'm able to do now, it's because even though I supported the company and did stuff just to do it for the company, everything that I'm creating now was because they gave me a shot at that time, right? Because everything that I worked for with probably no recognition, no pay, and nothing now, I got the support to them to actually get to the spot I am now. So, you know, if I didn't do all that and I kind of went off on my own and I kind of did my own thing, it's kind of like the real estate industry now is so diluted, right? Even at certain real estate companies, and like you'll have someone that just started yesterday, and they're like, nah, I want 100%. Like, what are you going to do? 100% of nothing is nothing, right? So they gave me the opportunity to do now. But the vision was, I remember when I started, and you could ask Justin, right? I remember when I started, I said, I'm gonna get big into social media. I actually never really did, right? I'm providing the tools to it, but you got a 10 times better brand than me, right? So both of you guys. So I always wanted to create that element that wasn't in the market. When you think about mortgage banks now, true mortgage banks, not teams at companies, like the real owners, everybody's in their 60s, everybody's in their 70s, everybody's comfortable where they're at. Nobody even wants to move. Even my partner who's a little bit older, he's very comfortable where he's at. There's no young mindset in the mortgage industry to change the way business is done. There's not. Between the technology stacks, between branding, between media, between everything that's got to be inside of the business, no one is doing it. So I just started small, right? So my first year, I was just worried about myself. My second year, I started building a team. My third year, I didn't know COVID was going to come about. But I remember, so where it really started was I was always focused on it, but was just trying to build up the volume in the team to actually be able to support it. But when COVID came, our business really exploded. And I met JB through another loan officer, and they were like, he's a realtor also, and he's like, yeah, you guys got to meet. Right, and it's going to really amount to something. When I met him, I realized like this is a whole nother element that I could break into the market with, right? Training agents, creating events, media, and it kind of came into fruition. So it was it started from year one. So the one thing that I did that a lot of loan officers don't do is my first year when I was only closing a couple deals, I barely paid myself. I mean, I think my first year I paid myself $30,000, and I was closing deals just so I could leave money in the company to hire an assistant, because I'm always thinking about my next move. Like, You guys saw the studio, right? We're building out the studio right now. Like, I'm already thinking, like, that's past me, right? I'm already thinking, what's the next thing going to be in the next couple of years? What's going to be the mark? Because what's going to happen is we're going to create this stuff, and everything that we're doing right now, it's one or two things that are going to happen. It's either there's not going to be enough people on the island doing it. It's going to be very expensive to do this type of stuff, right? So you're going to need relationships. You're going to need to make noise. You're going to need to do volume because you're going to have the money to support it, or everybody's going to start doing it and something else is going to be the next thing. So I'm already thinking on what the next thing is.
Any insight on what the next thing is right now?
No clue.
No clue yet?
No clue.
I mean, social media is
Huge.
It's what it is right now. Like, that's just what it is.
What you got, like, when I think of social media, it's like same thing with the conference, right? I'm not thinking about it small, and I think a lot of people think about it on a small aspect. Like if I was you, I would think about how do I get this presence? How do I start doing it in Florida, right? And you could be thinking, I'm just speaking it, right? How do I do it in Florida? How do I do it here? Like, how do I take it out? So really the conference and the social media platform is how do I go out and build this brand in other states? And we're doing it. We're going to start upstate. I got someone down in Charlotte that we're doing. We're going to go down into Florida. So now it's the same way that we do business here with the media. We're going to go down and do it there, right? Between business to business, right? I could create the company name in local communities, just going to business, not even going after the realtors or certain markets, but building your brand that way. So the next thing for me is probably bringing that, if everybody's doing the media locally, bringing it from state to state, right? And maybe there's something else to it. Really, in our industry, it's the technology is going to be the next step. Who's got the best technology stack? And that's something that we're working on now.
So what switched in your mind, in the beginning, when you were thinking about social media is the next thing, what triggered that for you?
So my goal when I was in the restaurant business was it's freedom, right? What I liked about the restaurant business that the owners had freedom, right? You started a little bit later, they really didn't have a position. They would come in and out. They would hang out with their friends, get lunch with their friends, right? You have that whole set. So I knew when I was thinking about the restaurant business, how do I go, right when I started, I'm how do I go to 3 restaurants, right? Because when you're on one, you're you're sitting there, you're cleaning tables, you're doing this, right? There's not enough money, right?
Yeah.
How do I get to 3? The same thing. I'm sitting in my first year in the business. I'm sitting there. I'm dude, this is really fucking tough. And I was doing a couple of deals a month, but I'm I couldn't see the vision of how do I get to where I'm at now, 15, 20 loans a month, right? 25 loans a month, right? I couldn't see, I just didn't know the business good enough. Obviously, I see how I believe that if I really would just concentrate as being a loan officer, I could do 40 deals a month myself, right? I believe it, but how do you get that freedom? How do you work on the stuff that you want to work on? If you didn't have the team, you wouldn't have enough time to do everything that you do and connect with yourself, right? I see you grinding. You're up early. You're at the gym. You're doing everything that you're doing. There's some of that revenue that's coming from somewhere that's helping you enjoy and connect with yourself doing stuff like that.
I agree 100%. You got to have a team in this business.
Yeah.
You got to have people that you rely on.
Yeah.
If not, you can't do everything that you want to do.
Yeah.
And just touching base on that, you guys had a entrepreneur conference, a mega conference that you guys had.
Yeah.
What made you want to put that together? Because it's never been done before on Long Island. And I feel when I think of Cliffco, I think of you guys shaking up the industry, doing things that nobody has done before. Being trendsetters. That's what I think about.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's definitely the goal. So that's so I was running for Leukemia Lymphoma Society for Man of the Year, right? And this was COVID. So I'm sitting there, I'm from the restaurant business. I'm going to call a bunch of people. I'll throw a couple of parties. We'll raise money. It'll be so easy. And now I'm starting to call people, and I'm holy shit. I'm calling people in the worst time that they ever went through in their life, asking them to throw me a bone. Who the hell am I for them to throw me a bone? And it's just not something I could have, I felt comfortable doing myself. So I'm sitting at my desk, and I'm tell JB, what the fuck am I going to do, man? And I'm I got an idea. Let's do a webinar with Grant Cardone. JB's a 10X licensee. He's yeah, I could probably get him for I think it was $25,000. So I'm $25,000. I'm do it. Right? He comes back. It was it was 50 grand. So we cut 50 grand. I have this guy, I'm not even going to mention any names, down in Florida who did some of Grant Cardone's events, running the ads and everything else. We're a couple of weeks out, 1 ticket sold. I'm what?
Really? I wasn't expecting that.
I'm 70 grand into it. I'm no fucking way. So JB's dude, I could probably get him here for 100 grand. I'm you get him here for 100 grand, we're doing it. We'll do something in person. He comes back, it's 200 grand. And I'm fuck it, let's do it. I'm so just everything else in my life, steamrolling to the fullest. It started there, and I looked across from JB. I said, listen, I'm gonna do this. But I need help. You know what I mean? This is this falls in right on you, in what you do. This was middle of 2020. The industry was crazy. I was working 18 hours a day. I felt I was leaving, getting nothing accomplished.
But what's crazy is that people were complaining that they weren't busy in 2020, or they were too scared to be practicing. Real estate wise, realtor wise, they were oh, we can't door knock, we can't cold call, we can't show homes.
All excuses.
And exactly, 100%.
And illegal.
I don't know.
I'd throw that in there.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, that's why they did no business.
But continue. I'm sorry.
So it started there, and I looked across from JB. I'm let's do this, and it kind of just steamrolled into what it is. And how the media came about is we were reaching out to people for media and everything, and the numbers that we were getting were dude, we could start our own fucking media company. You know what I mean? What are we doing here? Let's start there. So. And it kind of just steamrolled. And then when you get so deep into it, I lost a decent amount of money on the event. I have no shame of saying it, but it leveled me up to where I know I'm going to crush this next one, right? We're going to crush this next one. And it's a much bigger picture. It wasn't just that one. Because once you get so into it, and I realized that, we weren't going to recoup the money, I wasn't going to start settling on standard of the event. I mean, I remember I was on Bradley's podcast. I was on Dropping Bombs, and the guy's like, "Dude, you had entrepreneur toothbrushes in the bathroom." Like,
All about branding.
That's that's the impression that we wanted to leave, and now we're doing the next one with 2,000 people. But it's regardless of that. I mean, the conference, it was like we really put that thing together in 45 days because COVID guidelines kept knocking us over, and then speakers couldn't come, and it was crazy, But we spent over $1 million, and I'm just ready for the next one, man. It's the connections that we make from it. Forget about the people in the crowd, right? It was great connecting with a lot of people in the crowd and getting that awareness, but it's having the relationship with Rene Rodriguez now. I'm picking his mind, one of the biggest mortgage trainers in the country, right? It's being able to go and dropping bombs and connecting with Bradley, right, and getting his mindset. That's
sick.
And I'm sitting in his green room, and the ideas that he's giving us in a couple of minutes, I'm like, shit. This is the people I got to be around, And that's what it's about, taking to the next level. And if I could take that and bring that to all the people that we're doing business with locally and bring those people in, right? We had Rene throwing an event at our building, right? I'm going to get Brad Lee down, like he's going to do something. If we get these people now, we can inspire you and have some thoughts on how to grow your business, right? Or even if we look at each other and we're like, yo guys, you know what, next year, let's do this in Florida. Let's do another one. And you're like, I want to expand into Florida. Now, how can I give that stage to help you build your business, right? It's thinking much bigger than that. Even the social media, it's thinking much bigger than just locally. I mean, you guys have a great setup here. You really branded yourself locally. It's like, now how do you take it to the next level? Like, what's the next level for you, right? With the brand that you already built yourself. And that's what we talk about with the media company, with JB and everything that we're doing in the company. It's what's making us jump and, I don't want to say it, but you said it, be trendsetters in the industry. I appreciate that. I really do, because it's definitely something that we're trying to do, but it's thinking of it to the next level.
Yeah. And I think, just hearing you speak about all these things you're going to be doing, I'm not even going to say trying, because obviously you're a big risk taker, and anything that you say you're going to do, you do. It sounds like Cliffco is going to take over not only Long Island, but
trying, man.
But
a couple other states.
Like, no disrespect to Cliffco, this company I'm at, right? But like, no disrespect.
Hey, watch what you say. The man cuts your checks.
This guy just had to throw a punch, all right?
But the thing is, like, I didn't know about Cliffco until you. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know about it. I wouldn't be there if it wasn't for you. So it's just like...
But that just emphasizes his branding, his mindset.
But like, the things that you're doing, like... when I was at a different place, I was like seeing the stuff you're doing and like seeing all the trainings and all that stuff. And I'm like, yo, I want to be a part of it. I want to do things like that. Like, I want to like be able to help my referral partners in that way. And I couldn't. Like, I wasn't able to do that. And then now you're doing all these things. You're just thinking outside the box. Like, I don't see anybody else. Like, and this is not for me. I just came here this month, right? I came to Cliffco like August 1st. But like, I don't see anybody else doing anything close to like entrepreneurship conference, like studios in-house, like all these different things that you guys are doing.
So
you guys meeting us now.
The owners aren't hungry, man. The industry, the mortgage business, like the real estate business is, I feel like you guys are always reinventing yourselves and getting out there and moving, right? I mean, there's some stagnant brands out there, right? We're not going to name them, but the mortgage companies, they're old, bro. And locally, if you go out of New York State to these bigger companies, they're too big to implement what we're doing. If it's costing us over $1 million, it would cost them millions of dollars. No one's putting that investment in. Even locally, what we're doing, someone's going to build a studio that we're building for our referral partners and our LOs to spend over $1 million, $500,000 build out, put the staff into it, right? No one, who's going to manage it? Like, no one's going to do that stuff. So it's aligning your people with like-minded people and believing in the vision. Right? I was targeting you for a reason, because I saw that what you're doing, and now I had value to deliver, right? And it's going after the right people in the industry that believe it. You came in because you believe the vision and what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
Our referral partners, then when they come in and they see everything, it's because they believe the vision, and it's helping unite more like-minded people. Because everything that we're doing here for our businesses, it does get expensive, right? So you got to do it together to be able to get to the next level.
100%.
You guys are very supportive of your referral partners and people that work for you. We have an event November 13th at NASSAU COLISEUM.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys are a platinum sponsor.
I appreciate it. No, it's our pleasure.
What's crazy is that you guys saw the vision as well.
Yeah.
I feel like we're pretty much, eye to eye and taking things into a much bigger expansion.
Can I say something?
What?
Like, about, like, our, me and Kevin had, like, a little bit of a thing.
I was arguing with this guy for like a week. He would call me at 9 o'clock at night. Are you sure you want to do it in NASSAU? I'm like, bro, it's 9 o'clock at night. I'm with my wife and my kids. Stop calling me about this. Legit. I was just like, yo, leave me alone.
So you wanted to do it. He didn't want to do it.
I told him from the start. I said, this has never been done before.
He wanted to do it. I was, like, on the fence because I was like, yo, this is big. Like, this is
What
like
was
a big
making you
stage.
be on the fence about it?
I'm not going to lie. It was, I was moving companies. I was like building out business stuff. So I was like, it's a lot of work. Like, this is a lot of work to do. So I was thinking like, yo, are we going to be able to fill out this arena with like the, you know, the following that we have
Without
now?
a question.
But the thing is, like, when I was thinking about it and like Kevin and I were talking about it, Kevin was like, yo, we have to do this. It's not an option. I was like, Kevin, I hate you, but I love you at the same time. Like, I believe what you say and I believe in you. So I was like, all right, we'll do it. Like, whatever. And then I remember when I came to your office, you were like, bro, don't even think about doing an LAU post. Like, he was like, you guys got NASSAU Coliseum, do it. And I was just like, all right, like, everyone, you guys are both people that, like, you know, help me get my mind straight. So it was like,
It took me so long to even land the appointment, and this guy's over here called me for a week straight.
Well, dude, you know, I was thinking about what the fuck I did wrong because we were going to try to do the conference there, and, you know, we got the numbers, and, you know, for like, you know.
That would have been sick.
For the
that was a
day,
Coliseum.
but for the amount of time we need for the setup and everything, it would have been like $200,000 for the venue. So he's calling me up and he's like, yeah, we're going to do a NASSAU Coliseum. I'm like, you got NASSAU Coliseum? I'm like, fucking do it. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Exactly. It was a no-brainer.
Yeah, think about it now. That definitely was, I don't know why I thought about it too much. I overthink things sometimes.
You know what the problem is? Even if it's half of what it turned, what in your head, what you want it to be, it's going to be the biggest thing that anybody's ever did in that category. Period.
100%.
Period.
And, you know, we think just like you guys, you know, setting trends, doing things that people haven't done before. Everybody wants to be a part of something exclusive and something new.
Yeah.
You know, that's why the Hamptons
It's true.
is the Hamptons, because
Hamptons,
it's
exactly.
exclusivity. That's what they sell. You're a part of a certain group of
Yeah.
people. So I was like, look, we have to do this. It took me over a month to land this venue. Literally cold calling every day, sending the same email every day, just tweaking the little things here and there.
No one there. It's like a ghost town,
I know.
too. No
I
one
know.
answers. Dude, it's a
I
lot of
know.
work. I get
know.
it and I respect it. When he told me, I remember I was sitting in my car in the parking lot. I'm talking to you and you're like, I don't know. I'm like, what's making you like not do it? And he's like, you know, like going over the. When I'm like, dude, you gotta fucking do it.
Yeah.
Like you gotta do it.
You just said it straight. And then I came to the office the other day, and like one of the days after that, and you were just like, bro, stop thinking about it. Just do it. Like, don't even think twice about it.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, it was definitely. But looking back at it now, I realized like because that was my first time ever switching companies.
Yeah.
I was not in the right headspace. I was like thinking about like a million things at once. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get used to the system, everything like that. Switching from like a different LOS, like it was tough. But
You think
I
he's just
appreciate both
nervous
you guys.
about losing in front of more people?
Yo, come on,
Damn.
yo. Honestly, we just had the teams. You're not playing for some reason.
Nah, I can't. Yeah, no, it would be. It wouldn't be good.
I'm so shocked
I'm
about
shocked
you
you're not
in cooking classes. I can't
Yeah.
picture it. I
Yeah.
feel like you got that Tony Soprano look and like, forget about it. Forget about it. Hey, Jimmy, get the bag. You don't like my food?
All right, let's jump back into like real estate relationships. So
Yeah.
one thing that you focus heavily on is the relationship between the lender and the realtor.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what your idea and what your vision is on the relationship between the two.
Yeah. So what I try to train everybody. You know what the problem is? The business is flooded with people. I'm sure you get calls all fucking day long. Let's meet. Let's do this.
Loan officers?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one thing. Like, why do loan officers always call the realtor? Like, hey, we should do business. It's like, all right, send me a deal first.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, right. Or let me provide value in a way, right? So
true.
I tell them all the time, and especially with what we're doing, like we're creating a niche with the media, right? Or the training, right? So either go after newer agents and build those long-lasting relationships, or go after people that are doing media because you have instant value for them, right? Loan officers are targeting people because they think they can get business, or those people have to give without giving any value. I could have met you 47 times, right? If I met you and I didn't feel like I had something to give to you, I want to know you. I want to be friends with you. I want to be cordial with you. But I don't want to do business with you because I have no value. It'll be a one-way street.
Yeah.
So loan officers are trained just to sit at a desk, call. We got to do X amount of deals a month. they're not being taught how to bring value to their agents. Or I see loan officers change all the time, and you probably see it with same people with agents on teams. They're moving to people and following people just to be in like a certain limelight, or actually not to produce and not to be trained, or overpromised and underdelivered. That's not what it's about. When I sit down with a loan officer, like, these are the tools that we have. Do you think you could bring value or build your business off of it? There's your value. It's not. I'm not going to call a 72-year-old agent being like, dude, I got this sick media studio building. I just come and see it. Like, we're just not going to do business together. You know, so it's focusing on how you're going to deliver value, because the food chain is tough, right? I'm working on a system to be able to give more leads out, but that's not how the food chain works, right? And for you guys, it's a little bit different, right? You'll have your 1 or 2, maybe 3 relationships that you use depending on the type of deal. But I mean, if you're a busy loan officer, I mean, you're working with 40, 50 agents. You know, if I was getting that many deals, I would be a real estate agent, right? So the food chain just don't work that way. So how you can support and provide value in other ways. And that's what the loan officers have to think about, is when you're starting in the business, what value, or what does that place have the value for you to give? What are they supplying you with? So that's all it's about. And it's a connection. I mean, you can't, you know, you're extremely successful, right? Maybe if I was a loan officer and I was going after you, maybe we wouldn't jive. I have no fucking clue. Maybe you don't like the way that I do business, right? So it's just more to it than just trying to strike a deal, right? But I hear the loan officers in my office all the time calling up like, oh yeah, I'm trying to get lunch to this person. What'd you tell them? Let's get lunch. Like the pitch has got to be different than that.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm surprised honestly, I thought my pitch was amazing. And then when I sat down with JB talking about it, he was telling me, he's like, it's good, make these changes. Once I made those changes, it was game over. Like, Kevin, be an example, we sat down again, right? After I switched, I was talking to you, showing you everything we were doing. We strategized a whole new plan for you right after I moved, right? 100%?
Yeah, 100%. Definitely.
That's what it's about, and that's why, you know, JB's another big piece to what we're doing, because we're sitting down, we're creating business plans. And it's not to say, I mean, some agents, I feel like sometimes get offended. Like, I remember, I'm not going to say any names, but I was sitting down with a broker owner of a large real estate company, and I was telling him what we're doing. He's got I got the best training. We have the best marketing. Do you? I actually think your brand is dying, but if that's what you believe, you know, if that's what you believe, then so be it. I said, do you feel like your real estate agent, you know, all your agents believe, you know, feel the same way as you do? Absolutely. I said, that's great, because I couldn't say that about mine. You know, and that relationship just didn't, you know, wasn't going to work there. But it's, you know, the business plans we can line out for people. We're really trying to just provide the value where the value is needed. It's not even like we go into the, you know, with what we're building out with the media team, the marketing company, the training, it's like we're just looking to fill a need. Like, where's the need? It could be none of the fact. It could be personally, right? Like, maybe, you know, JB has helped me a ton of, you know, a lot of my business. It's good to have people that you could bounce things off of. And that's what another thing with the conference, the people you meet at the conferences, the relationships, the networking that you can get done. I've met people that we go back and forth, and I have an idea, completely different industries, but they have 300 employees, they have 200 employees, or they're doing this and they're doing that, and you could bounce ideas off. It's good to have people like that, just to think out loud, you know?
Yeah.
100%. I think that, some people think that you can't continue learning. They think that they know everything. And, I think that's kind of a downfall of some people.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys agree.
I do, actually. I was just driving out here. I was listening to the Ed Milet show, because I'm a big fan, trying to get him on the next conference. But he had this guy, it's called The Angry Therapist. The guy's fire. And he said, you know, Ed Milet just said, you know, I can't quote it perfect, but if you want to, you know, if you want to show somebody who you really are, that you have to talk about your imperfections, rather than trying to show that you're perfected.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're not trying to learn everything else, again, it's the people that are in my position at the other companies. I made it. I'm doing $1.5 billion in origination out of company. I got this many loan officers. It's only going to last so long.
Honestly, one thing I like, you know, is if I have an idea or I talk to you about it, you just try to make the idea better, or help me out with whatever I can in that way, or we try to do something together with it.
Yeah.
Seminar things that I'm trying to do as well. You know, you're telling me, I'm saying, oh, I'm going to throw the seminar. no, you should be doing this seminar once a month, like at least once a month. And it's like always good to have that push.
Yeah.
Like, and like for me, like I'll never stop learning, obviously, and I'm sure you'll say the same thing, and I'm sure you'll say the same thing. So it's like continuous learning, like through different things, is definitely super helpful. And I mean, I don't know if you would say this, but you think that like eagerness to learn has helped you get to where you are today?
Oh, absolutely. And it's goals. You have to align your goals. You told me there's certain goals that you want to hit. I'm not doing my job if we're not getting those goals. You know, you could do them on your own, but sometimes it's easier just to do it, do it when you have a couple of people pushing you, right?
Right.
Because, everybody doesn't have the same risk tolerance also when you do certain things, right? Same thing. Like, that's why you guys are a good duo, because he's like, dude, like, we're doing it.
I'm all in.
It's good to have that push, and you got to find those people that you connect with. It's the same thing in the partnership at the bank. One of my partners is very conservative. I'm not conservative, right? You know, I'm fortunate enough that we have the tenure in the business, and the reserves and the establishment, the foundation that we have, right, from what they started 32 years ago. But that's why you need the balance, and you got to take those risks and the goals. I think the hardest part starting off in any industry is no one figures out what the goal. They really don't know what they want. You know how many times I sit down with loan officers, and you probably sit down with real estate agents where they're like, no, well, I want X. Good, I'll give you X. You're not going to put anything into your business that's going to help to get you to the next level. You're going to be moving companies or going somewhere else because you're going to think it's us when it was really you, because you haven't figured out exactly what you want in the business. You don't wake up every morning saying, well, I hope I just get another listing. No, you said, I want to make this much money. I need this many listings, or I need this many people. I got to do this much volume, right?
Yeah, it's true.
And no, you got to set the goal. So you told me what your goal is. You're not going to do it with one seminar.
Yeah.
You have a great brand already. Do it every month. Provide value. We have value to provide. We have information to give.
Yeah.
It's true. Now you got a much bigger space and a much bigger support system. I mean, the last seminar you did, yesterday's price was not today's price, was completely like sold out. There was only X amount of seats. I don't know how many seats. I think.
Well, 50? The conference center now we could fit over 60, and then once the studio's done, we could fit over 125.
Yeah, so I think this new seminar that you're gonna have in September is gonna be really dope, because a lot of people wanted to come.
Yeah. Last year it was funny because people wanted to come, but I couldn't. But
what Ryan is saying is true though. Consistency is what brings you to the next level.
Yeah,
you can't do a seminar every once in a while. It's got to be every month, and provide as much value and knowledge to your referral partners as possible.
Yeah, because when they start seeing, so when other agents start seeing that, they're gonna feel like they're missing something. What do now these agents in the room know that I don't know, right? And I'm a big believer. Rene Rodriguez says all the time, this is the age of attraction, right? Or if you talk to some other people, we have a flex culture now, right? Our generation, right? And I believe it. And
where's the confetti and the money come? We haven't brought that out in a while. Oh my gosh!
But this is what the nation, the whole nation is like that, right? So why not, make your brand even more. If you already have a great platform, right, both you guys, and you have this much attention already, what's going to help you get to the next level of attention? And with that next level of attention, what opportunities it's going to bring you? Maybe it's another business adventure. Maybe it's more agents. Maybe, you never know what it lies. Every time I've tried to get more attention, I've opened up another business.
Attention is currency in this industry that we're in.
When the attention age. And now all these things are coming out with Instagram with recommendations that are going to allow people like us. I feel like we're underrated. I feel like the real estate professionals in the industry are really underrated, because I feel like a lot of people put a lot of time and effort into what they do, and they don't get the recognition that they deserve. And I think that now with the changes being made on different platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, there's a lot of changes that are about to be made into it, and it's going to give that recognition to these people even more.
You know how you get that recognition? By doing a charity event at NASSAU COLISEUM.
That's true.
Something that no one's done.
That's true.
And it's all for the kids too. Our goal is to raise $50,000 for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Man. So it's an amazing event. We're glad to have you guys support. Two things I want to touch base on is something you said very interesting. You lost money with the Entrepreneur Conference, which was a mega conference. But what you said after that, the connections that you made are priceless.
Priceless.
Because the value that they're adding to you
so much, man. So
out of this world.
And you know what that did is, from having the exposure there, right? I remember after the conference, for the most part, after the conference, there wasn't a meeting that I couldn't get, right? I had business opportunities brought to me. You know, all of our businesses did very well after that, right? You know, so it's you're saying that you feel like the real estate industry is a little underserved, let's just call it, right? When it comes to that, when it comes to recognition and everything like that. But is it? Or are the people that are bringing it to different areas, different states, and doing next level stuff like you're looking to do, getting the recognition?
I think that could be true too.
Like being a local celebrity is great. Like a lot of people are trying to be local celebrities, right? It's only going to get you local opportunities.
And there can only be so many.
Global. You know, it's funny that you mentioned that. You know, we have this conversation every now and then. It's like, all right, we have a good platform. We have a good backing, a good support locally. How do we take this globally into other states? And we always talk about, look, we have to get other guests from other states to come on the show because their audience is going to help our audience and it's going to be a collaboration.
But with like-minded people. So now I'm telling you, right? I'm going to Charlotte. I'm going upstate. I'm going to Florida. I'm going to have space there. What else do you need? What else do you need, right? It's going with the like-minded people that are going to allow you to.
Yeah.
So same thing with JB, right? You know, JB's got his training. I want to see his training explode. Like that entrepreneur conference helped his training explode. He's training the largest real estate team in the country now. He's on their panel of trainers, right? When I go to Florida now, right? When I go open up in Charlotte, and, you know, even though we have an agreement on the training end of it for business, like, it's going to be exciting to see where his business goes. And I know that when he starts meeting all those people and explode, he's going to want to bring it back to Cliffco because we grew that together. You know, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. What do you know, I think some people just like don't believe that other people want to see them do really good. But I would love nothing more than to go open up an office in Florida. And now you're like, I got 10 agents in Florida because now you have the spot there, you have the backing there, you have the support there, right? Because we did it together. I mean, it's who you're working with. I have all the opportunities that I have because the people that I align myself with help me get to that level. My partners, as much volume as I brought in, as much revenue, as many people, right? You know, pushing them to take a little bit more risk, all that, right? We all came together, but because their transparency, their loyalty, their integrity, I was able to do that. I have a big person starting today, actually, at the company that has a great platform, 500,000 people in a chat that he guides on home ownership. I mean, this guy makes a post, right? And he gets a mortgage. Everybody was small-minded. I mean, they were short-sighted. They couldn't help him get to the next level. I'm going to take that now. Maybe that's taking our real estate agents that do want to go to the next level out of state and using his funnels and his ads that he's driving to create buyers to go into new areas, right?
Yeah, I love it.
Again, what's the goal? What's your goal? We're not good partners. If you say, I want to go to Florida and we don't help you get there, we're not good partners, right? Or we need to acknowledge that you're going to have to go to that partner or find that other partner that's going to help endorse that other adventure, you know?
A lot of knowledge, a lot of gems. You know, again, like I said, you guys are doing things that most banks don't do. Definitely trend setting. And if you can't see the takeover now, you got to be blind.
You're going to be forced to.
You got to be blind. Not only that, but I just want to say this on a personal level. You guys are doing something for me, a pre-approval. And, I mean, I'm excited to work with you guys.
Yeah.
You know, buying some more real estate and surrounding yourself with, you know, like-minded individuals. So I appreciate all you guys' help, and I appreciate you being here, man. It's an honor.
It's an honor for me. I've been watching on the outside in, waiting to get in. So
it was meant to happen. It was going to happen.
Well, I think it was meant to happen exactly when it did because it's the episode number.
But you know what's funny, and I'll say this off the record. And if you don't want, you know, you can cut it out. But he would call me nonstop. He's the type of person that he just overanalyzes things so much. And he'll call me. He's like, Kev, what do you think I should do? I'm like, bro, they're providing you with so much value, so many tools that you don't have right now. What are you thinking about?
Yeah.
He's like, well, it's a big risk. You know, it's a big step for anybody, but you have to take risks in order to grow.
Absolutely.
And I'm the type of person who's like, I'd rather take the risk and learn from it if I do lose than not take the risk and beat myself up for it. And be like, damn, I didn't take that risk.
Well, we'll nudge it into him a little bit to be a little bit more.
We'll hit him with the bat a couple times.
That's the thing, though. Literally, do you remember when I told you I was coming? Mm-hmm. I literally told you just like that. I was like, I'm thinking about it too much. I'm just going to do it. And then I just did it. And then like first month, I don't even know how many deals I've submitted. My business is already like I'm not gonna say exploded, but like it's already moved up. And I've already got my first clear to close in 15 days.
It's great.
Which was insane. I've never had a 15-day clear to close
I
before.
don't think I did either. No, I'm like,
So it's been nice. It's definitely been nice. So I'm excited for the future of my career at Cliffco. I'm excited for all the things you're doing at Cliffco.
me too.
And what do you think, like, where do you see yourself in like 5? Because did we say how old you are? Or do you want to say it, or you
Yeah,
don't?
it doesn't matter. I'm 29.
Isn't that crazy?
That's young.
That's crazy. What do you want to be at in the next 5 years?
Next 5 years, I mean, for me, it's all volume based and origination based. But I would like to see the company pretty much, locally double what we are locally, which we're going to get there way before. We're probably going to get there by second quarter of next year. But 5 years is, a bunch of you guys that are with the company right now, having teams and reaching your goals. If you guys reach your goals, my goals are going to be fulfilled. So, I know what my goals are. I didn't share them, but, I have 2 daughters. I have a son too, but I have my 2 daughters. There's goals for all my children that, I'm already buying them houses. They already have college funds set up. There's, the world out there could be a scary place when you're first starting, right? And, it's a lot of people that mislead you and everything. And I just want to make sure my kids are good. So my focus is my kids. My focus is getting you guys to the goals that you guys want to achieve. That's why I analyze your businesses so much, because I want to make sure that you hit them, because if I hit them, I'm going to get there. But it's company double the size locally, us in a couple of different states, and really just changing the way that business is done.
I could see it. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
But
Any other gems you want to drop before we end this special episode off?
No, I think that's
drop
it.
a lot of gems.
That's good.
I think after this being long overdue, I think we hit it right where it needs to be hit. I think it was a great episode. So, on that note, where can everyone follow you on everything? Plug
Riddle Mortgage on Instagram. I'm really just on Instagram right now, so Riddle Mortgage, follow us. And I'm looking forward to all the business that we're going to do together.
Yeah, definitely. If you need a mortgage, if you need a pre-approval, contact these guys.
Call James.
Smoking like a true leader. If you need a pre-approval, you know who to contact. Get in contact with Cliffco Mortgage. We appreciate all you guys' support, man.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
I'm looking forward to moving with you guys even further, in this industry. So
Let's do it.
I'm looking
appreciate the
forward
help.
to it. All right, that was episode 69 of the Real Estate and Chill podcast. You can only say that once. I'll see you next time. Awesome. That was a great episode.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in to the Real Estate and Chill podcast with James Chaudhry and Kevin Iglesias. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, share this with your friends, your enemies, your mother-in-law. No, seriously, this podcast is so fucking good, you might want to tell your ex.